Right, welcome back to the channel. Continuing on with the carb issues. Still up all on the bench. I've gone through with carb cleaner. I've gone through every single hole I can find, blowing it through. I've even gone through the actual fuel line that splits into the four, and there was carb cleaner actually dispersing itself equally along all four carbs. I've got all the manuals out, I've got the fiche picture out. As you remember in the last episode I said about this pilot adjuster screw that in some models was actually fitting in there, but mine it wouldn't. I've actually done some research. I appreciate all the comments I had loads on Facebook, and yeah, it really helped me a lot. I've actually dug out another fiche picture, I'll show you that in a second, and I didn't realise there actually are a couple of different variations of these carbs. Some actually have this screw in this hole here, and some will have this screw which will actually fit in there. This particular type of carb is the one that fits in the side with the spring. So let me show you everything that's on the bench and then we can move forward. I've already put together a couple, just started with the float valves, trying to get the heights right, making sure everything works properly. So literally quite a crowded bench, still got the parts laid out. I've also got the climber menu out, got the Haynes menu out because obviously it's got all the settings. Obviously cup of tea first thing in the morning. But these are the two different variations. So this one is for this particular carb model, which is that one that would fit in there if I had that particular model. Then you've got this one, with the spring, which is actually this one, and it fits in to the side, actually goes in there. So again, two different models. So when you actually get the kits, these were the kits I was using. They come with everything for both different variations of carburetor. So I think that was what was the confusing bit. And the pilot jets are the right ones that go all the way down. And then according to the manual it's 3/4 plus 1/8 of a turn out from stop, with a float level of 30 plus 1 mil nominal. So I've measured them floats now, the two that are in there, and they are giving me 30 plus 1. As I say, I try and get as much information as I can. I speak to people on forums, go through the manuals. All I've done is just, as I say, Haynes, climber. I have just gone through everything, trying to make sure I've got everything right, and pulled off a fiche picture. Alright, trying a different angle of the camera. Hopefully people can see a bit better. I think the previous one was a bit far away. So on these first two, I've put in the valve seat and the valve float seat and the float needle, and the pin that goes through to hold the floats. I've still got the bits on the bench, just working through slowly. I'm just going in with the next valve seat, 10 mil. float valve. Same again on the last one. Like I said, I've gone through literally every hole has been blown through. A lot of carb cleaner, but it has seemed to clean out a lot of dirt. Right, so that's all the floats and the seats all in place. Next one will actually be the air screw, which actually drops down in there. So we'll drop that down, tighten it all the way up, and then according to the manual, 3/4 of a turn plus an 1/8 out. And I'll do that for each one. Right, so let's go with the first one. Small screwdriver. Just going to drop that down. Right, that's all the way in. So I'm basically going to use that hole as a reference. So it's 1/4, 1/2, 3/4 and a slight 1/8. I don't know if you can just about see it down in there. So I've just got to repeat the process for the next 3. So that's all 4 of those in. Now we've just got our main jets. So that's all the main jets in. So basically everything from this side has been stripped out, cleaned through, blown through and put back together. As I say, that's the main fuel inlet with the splitter pipe. So obviously the fuel will come down and along to each carb underneath the float. I say I've blown through using our air intake and throttle body cleaner. And it's blown through quite nicely. Everything, you can see the fluid floating all the way across. So that's everything back in situ. All I've got left is the caps and the screws, and we'll turn it over and we'll put these in. So let me get the caps on and then we'll put the last screws back in. Right, so all the caps back on, all screwed down. Last thing to do is put in these jets in here, so we flip these over and install those. So you can see the holes, one here, and the same on the reverse side. So it's just a small spring, drop down and we screw them in. Again, I'll screw them up to full and then out to about 3/4. I'm just going to pop them in loosely for now. So that's into full, quarter, half, 3/4. Quarter, half, 3/4. Again, and then we do the same on this one. So that's in full, quarter, half, 3/4, and then just the last one. Quarter, half, 3/4. So that's the whole lot, re-stripped down, blown through, cleaned, and put back together again. Everything is now working properly. Off camera I had all the slides out, cleaned them all up. So now we have full movement. I still don't know why they were sticking, but as I say, everything came out. One suggestion I believe was from Mega Kuntash was obviously one thing I didn't think about is when this fell off the skylift, maybe this bar got knocked and knocked it out of alignment, which is a possibility, but I now know that everything is working. Right, next thing to do, clear away the manuals, take off the cover, get the carbs reinstalled. So I'll do that and join me again when they're fitted. Finally, after some time, carbs are back in. So everything's still moving normally. I'm not going to connect the throttle cables. I've just chucked the battery charger on. That went on a while ago. But yeah, these are not the easiest carbs to get in and out. But finally they're actually in, because they've got to make sure they're actually pushed. You feel them push forward and lock. So in a second I'll rehook up the filter and the spare tank, connect it up, and we'll find out what happens. Hopefully, cross fingers, this should work. May have to do a bit of alteration on the air screws, but we'll see what happens. So I've given the battery a charge. I don't think the battery is actually very good anymore. It's not really, it's flattening very quickly. I've given it a couple of turns over it, nearly fired. Let's have another listen. Let's choke off. Try that out. No, similar story. I think what I might have to do is actually I'll replace this battery, get a new one. See if that will make any difference. But no, fuel is not leaking this time, so I've got no leaks, which is good. I've checked spark, still got spark. So I'm still using the filter with the shut off valve. But no, if anybody's got any ideas, I say I'm going to replace the battery. Let's try it. Still be enough in there to actually start it over. Let's try giving it a bit of throttle. No, I think our battery's had it. Right, so thanks for joining me on that one. Sorry I couldn't actually get it fired up, but like I say, the carbs are all back together, back in situ. I did try it just before I turned the camera back on, and there was a definite trying, and it just went. So I'm going to get another battery. Join me again in the next episode. We'll continue on. What I'll probably do is I'll put this in its own little playlist. I might actually separate some of this Z650 build playlist down into smaller section playlists, because there's quite a lot of videos in there now. I did the same for the wiring. Again, if you're onto the Z650 wiring, go and check that playlist out. I'll leave a link at the end of the video to the Z650 wiring playlist. It's well worth a watch. They're all together. So I may do that. I may start splitting down the actual Z650 playlist, because it is quite large. So it makes it easier, so you can just pull out the actual chunks you need. But no, if anybody's got any thoughts, as I say, I'll pull the battery out, get that replaced. I've tried mostly everything I can. It nearly went before I started filming, but unfortunate. But I'll keep tinkering when I can. If I can pop out here during the week, I'll have another try, and then hopefully in the next episode we'll continue on, see if we can get the carbs sorted. I may have to adjust one of the air screws and go from there, really. Again, appreciate all your feedback, all your comments. It means a lot. I can't say how much it means enough. It really does. It helps me grow. The comments I have are fantastic. You know, I'm willing to take criticism if I've done something wrong or I've missed something. It's a learning process, and I am learning as I go. There are links to other videos at the end of the video, and join me again in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.